guys, Risque here, and welcome back to Tell Me Why. So, last we left off, I guess I was wrong on this.
Wait. They broke open the beehive for the bear.
I mean, even though we just read a story about how they helped the beaver, but whatever.
Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
Pelican Crossing is a specialty gift boutique located near the Oshia Glacier, catering to Gastineau Channel tourists as well as Delos Crossing locals. We specialize in an assortment of high-quality products from home accessories, handmade souvenirs, to personalized apparel and locally made art. The Pelican Crossing will be the first store to act as a relay between the buzzing arts and crafts scene and customers. In addition to a wide array of novelty handcrafted products, the consumer will enjoy friendly and knowledgeable customer service from Vecchi store co-owner Tessa Vecchi. Fuck her, an up-and-coming artist, Marianne Ronan. This business plan is prepared to obtain financing in the amount of $20,000 to purchase inventory and to help cover expenses in the first year of operations. In year 1, the Pelican Crossing plans to break even, and in year 2, we plan to generate a moderate profit. I mean, optimistic, to say the least. Working on the executive summary part of our business plan, what do you think? Fuck Tessa. Tessa's a bitch. Very Old Beavers Repair List.
Very Old Beavers Repair List.
That's the story where the princess's house gets damaged by a storm and the animals help her fix it.
Yeah. What did they do to fix it again?
Very Old Beavers Repair List. The beaver fixes the house. Once upon a time in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. One night, a particularly violent storm shook the house. It shook the shingles on the roof and the planks in the walls. It even shook the beams on which the house stood, blowing the whole thing near to the ground. The princess hid in a closet, fearing the house would come down on her as she slept. In the morning, the house was still standing, but it was badly damaged. The storm had blown shingles off the roof and planks off the walls and even bent a post upon which the house stood. The first two things she could fix, but the last concerned her. What will I do? Despaired the wise princess, for though she knew many things, she did not know how to fix the big wooden house. Okay, so shingles, planks, and a post. Okay. Just then the old bear came by to see if the princess had any trouble in the storm. When he found her nailing planks back into place, he said, "Stop, princess, let me do that for you." "I'm happy to do it," said the princess, "but if you want to help with the roof, you may." When the pair were done with the roof and the walls, they examined the bent support post. "I could throw my body against it," said the old bear. "I am very large." He stretched up onto his hind legs, being sure the princess could appreciate how very large he was, then charged straight at the post. He threw his body against it with an impressive thud. The impact moved the post, but too far, and it ended up bent in the other direction. The wise princess decided more precision was needed. She thought of the very old beaver, who kept an excellently crafted dam. Perhaps she can help. She went looking for the very old beaver and found the industrious animal hard at work, slopping down mud on a part of her dam that had been blown apart in the storm. Most of the structure was unharmed because the beaver was very good at building things. The princess knew she had come to the right place. "Beaver," she said, "my house was damaged in the storm. Would you help me fix it?" "I believe I could do that, yes," said the very old beaver, and she paused at fixing her own den to follow the princess. The very old beaver examined the big wooden house and nodded. "It will be an easy fix," she said, and she set about riding the post with loud slaps of her tail. When she was done, the wise princess stroked the beaver's head. I can read. "Thank you, beaver," she said. "The wind blew the shingles off the roof and the planks off the walls and even bent the post. Now, thanks to you, I still have a home." "Think nothing of it," said the very old beaver, who returned to work on her own den once again. That winter, the very old beaver grew ill, very ill. She was not able to fix her den nor to gather food. When the princess found out, she set about delivering meals to the beaver. She brought stews of corn and beans and baskets full of bark and twigs from the beaver's favorite aspen. One day, the wise princess noticed that the beaver's den had begun to fall apart. She set about fixing it, and though she was not as talented as the very old beaver, the fix kept the creature warm and dry. "Thank you," said the very old beaver. "Of course," said the princess. "You helped me when the storm blew my house near to the ground. Thanks to you, I still have a home, and I'm happy to do the same." The princess continued to nurse the old beaver until the day she came to the dam and the forest was still. No birds sang, no branches rustled, no small things skittered with the underbrush. "Oh," said the princess, staring sadly at the dam, for she knew the old beaver had passed on. "Goodbye, my friend." And that is how the very old beaver saved the big wooden house and how the wise princess repaid her kindness. Okay, so...
She slapped the post with her tail to write it.
Yep.
She fixed the roof shingles. She fixed the planks that... All right.
Nice.
Damn. That must have been rough on Eddie.
Yeah, he doesn't really like to talk about her.
Dear Marianne, you cover your ears every time I try to have this conversation with you, so I thought I'd have a better chance doing this in a letter. I know you don't like saying goodbye, so I'll keep my melancholic rambling short and sweet. I want to thank you with all my heart for taking care of me these past few months. I can't even imagine how exhausting it must have been for you to look after a sick old lady when you also have 2 small children at home. I know you want me to keep fighting this disease and hoping for recovery, but it's always been a great strength of mine to know when it's time to let go, and that time has come. I'd like to ask you for one last favor. Please take care of Eddie after I'm gone. My poor boy puts on a brave front ever since his father died, but I know he's in pain. I would be so much more at peace knowing he still has family. Maybe he could teach the kids how to fish. He loves spending time with them. Thank you for the warmth and the peace you brought to my life. Give the kids a kiss for me, will you? Carol. That's who Carol is. It's Eddie's mom. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. What about this one? The old bear's gifts for the princess.
The old bear's gifts for the princess. I'm totally blanking on that story. What did he give her again?
Why don't we open up the book and check?
Okay, the old bear's gift for the princess. The bear and the princess, I'm guessing? I think that's the picture. Yup, that's it. Once upon a time, in the ancient and deep forest, the old bear stood on the bank of the river, swiping at salmon on their way to the spawning grounds. Just as he got his paw on a particularly fat one, he heard a woman shouting for help. He considered simply eating his salmon, but then she screamed again, and he lumbered over to investigate. After a short walk, he found the princess clinging to the top of the tree, while a wolf snarled and snapped at the base of the tree. Old Bear would normally not get in the middle of such a situation. However, after all, as a fellow predator, he understood the wolf's need to hunt. But when he saw the princess, he was struck by her beauty, and he knew he had to help. With a great roar, so if she was ugly, he would have let her die? Nice. Real nice. With a great roar, the bear heaved onto his hind legs, rising to his full height. The wolf snapped and snarled in his direction, but the bear roared again, and the wolf took off into the trees, tail between his legs. The old bear fell back down onto all fours and stared up at the princess. She regarded him fearfully. "You can come down," he said. How do I know you didn't save me just so you could eat me yourself?" asked the princess. "I suppose this is a fair question," admitted the old bear. "But I promise, I won't eat you." The princess had no reason to trust the old bear except that he had kind eyes, and so she slowly made her way down the tree. When she reached the ground, the bear only watched her, and so she supposed she was not going to be eaten today. "Thank you," she told the old bear. "Of course," he said. "Can I walk with you back to your home?" "Of course," said the princess, and so the princess and the old bear walked together through the forest, back to the big wooden house. After that day, the princess would occasionally find gifts from the bear: a fresh-caught salmon, a handful of ripe berries, a newly bloomed bluebell. One spring, when a sudden thaw flooded the path out of the princess's home, the old bear was there, and she rode his back across the river. The old bear began to think that the princess should be his mate. After all, she had no mate, and she needed one, and he could keep her warm and provide her a much more suitable den. I mean, I know it's supposed to be salmon, Marianne, but it feels bestiality-ish. She needed one. He could keep her warm and provide her a much more suitable den and catch fish for her and protect her from wolves. She, in turn, would brush out his fur and pick berries without smushing half of them, and scratch that one part of his back he couldn't reach, and with how she took care of the goblins, she would be an excellent mother for his cubs. Sorry. Cringe. Ooh, that hurt. One day, the old bear came with a ring of spruce and asked the princess to be his bride. "I'm sorry," said the princess. "You're a very good friend, and I appreciate all you've done for me, but I cannot marry you. You're a bear. I'm a princess. It would never work." "Thank you for having common sense." The old bear was crushed. "Can we still be friends?" he asked. "We will always be friends," said the princess, "but I will never marry you." The old bear and the princess carried on their friendship, and after 1 year, he tried again to ask her to be his bride, but once again she refused him, as is her right. No means no. Anyway, this happened 1 year later, and 1 year after that, and then finally the princess said, "Old bear, you are my dear friend, and I appreciate all you have done for me, but I would sooner you have left me to the wolves than marry you, and that is how it will always be. I have my hands full with the 2 goblins who live under my house, and they are all I need." That wounded the old bear deeply, but it was finally enough to stop his proposals. Sometimes you need to hurt their fucking feelings for them to get the hint. And then they murder you, so it's really great. It's really fantastic. Anyway. They remained friends, and he continued to give her gifts of fresh salmon and ripe berries and newly blossomed bluebells. But the old bear never again asked the princess to be his bride, much as he might have wanted to. That is how the princess befriended the old bear and how she refused him. Salmon, berries, and newly bloomed bluebells. Okay, so... salmon. Where's the salmon?
Fresh caught salmon?
There we go. Berries?
Hazelnuts.
No.
Maybe not. Some roses, maybe?
No.
Or not. Some honey?
Nope.
Maybe not. A newly bloomed bluebell?
There we go.
A handful of ripe berries?
Ha.
Nice. Man, he had it bad. Just couldn't let go.
Sorry for the note under the door like a prison inmate. You okay? I stopped by and rang a couple times this week, but you didn't answer. I could see the light in the hayloft, so I figured you were in but didn't want to talk. I hope I didn't ruin everything. I know I probably came on kind of strong, but the thing is, I don't know how to talk to a woman like you. You're strong and kind, and you know so much, it's hard for me to know how to keep up. I guess all that went to my head, but I want you to know I got the message and I'm gonna get out of your hair now. And there doesn't need to be any bad feelings. We can pass on the street and say hello or not. It's okay. P.S. I noticed your car was leaking, so I put some sealant in there. You might need to take it to the shop, though. Let me know if you want me to come with you, because sometimes these guys try to rip you off. If not, no big deal. Sam. It's just like, I know he means well. But no means no, bro.
Crafty goblin's loot.
That's from The Princess and the Two Thieves. I drew the original.
And I distinctly remember drawing that cake, which is arguably the best part of that illustration.
All right, Picasso. Then you probably remember what the goblins stole in that story, huh?
Let's find out. What page? 23. Oh, shoot. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. The house was built from the strong wood of the forest, and it kept the princess warm and safe. The princess was not a native of the forest, but she never spoke about where she had come from, for it made her cry. She did not have many friends, but that was how she liked it. The forest was big and deep, and many paths led to her house, but not many visitors passed by. The princess was happy to be left alone in that big house in the deep forest. She knew that the forest would provide for her, but that its generosity had to be respected, so she only took what she needed. And for a long time, life was just fine for the princess in the big wooden house. One winter day, when snow blanketed the earth and ice bent the trees low, the wise princess realized that food was disappearing from her house. It was not much at first, only a few fruits and nuts and eggs vanishing during the night. Maybe it's the birds, she said, or the mice. And for a time, the princess was okay with losing some food, but the winter was long and little creatures needed to eat too. But then small items started to disappear as well. Spoons and plates, forks and knives, and blankets. It was as if every time she was in one part of the house, something disappeared in another room. That can't be birds or mice, said the princess. I think I have a thief. So she went outside to look for traces in the snow and noises in the wind, but there was nothing to be found nor to be heard. That's strange, said the princess. Maybe the thief is hiding inside my house. For many days she hunted, looking behind the curtains and under the bed, in the attic and the chimney, behind the poles and under the carpets, but she found nothing. And as she searched, food kept on disappearing, night after night. I will make a cake, frowned the princess. A big cake, with every egg and fruit and nut I still have, so that I only have one thing to keep my eye on. Okay. Not the brightest idea. Not the best logic, but it's fine. She spent the whole day making the cake and using everything she had left. The cake she made was so big she could hardly carry it. If I manage to protect the cake, I'll be able to survive the long winter, she said. So she added a lock to the oven, and she kept the big cake safe inside. But the next morning, the lock had been opened and the cake had disappeared. At first, the princess cried because that cake was the last of her food until the snow melted. But then she noticed 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour, and she followed the tracks to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. This is how the princess realized that 2 tiny thieves were living under the wooden house right below her feet. Okay, so eggs and fruits and nuts. And blankets and spoons and plates and forks and knives. Okay. So... fruit?
Maybe they took some of the princess's fruit?
They did. This is true. Eggs.
I'm pretty sure they stole some eggs.
And that.
Some flour for the cake,
No.
maybe? Or not.
They did steal spoons.
What if they took some spoons?
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
I always wondered where that drawing went. She said it was her favorite, and then one day it just disappeared.
You're the best mom in the world, the prettiest princess. Aww. Alright. I guess that's it. Damn. Alright. Let's get out of
You
here.
really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
I mean... Hold on. Because, I mean,
guess
she's
you could
not
stay a
standing
little
next to
longer if you
anything
think
else.
There's more to find.
But I just want to make sure. Because, yeah, we set all the collectibles down. We looked at everything in here, I'm pretty sure.
I wish she just explained all this to us.
Well, it's hard to talk about stuff like that with your kid. I get it. Okay, and I solved all 4 of these. Okay. Alright. Yeah, guess we're good.
You really want to go? You sure we've seen everything?
Either way, I'm ready for this to be over.
Me too.
Okay.
What are we waiting for? I want to know who was here that night. Let's try and remember who Marianne was arguing with.
Alright. Just don't blame me when things go tits up.
Almost. Tom? Tom Vecchi is our father?
Of course. It had to be him.
Tessa knew, didn't she?
Yeah, she must have. That's what she didn't want to tell us.
God, Marianne and Tom?
I know.
What should we do now?
Yeah, call him out here and make him tell us what was going on.
And if he won't?
We know his secret. He will. Tom? It's Alyson. We need to talk. We know it was you.
Did I think I made a joke like forever ago about him being their dad? Wow.
Let me take the lead on this. I know him better. I thought I did, anyway.
Sure. Whatever. As long as we get answers.
Kids, listen.
You're our father.
Yes.
You knew how bad it got out here. How little we had. Why didn't you help Marianne?
You mean all the money she wanted? We didn't have anything to spare. Well, that winter was rough on everyone. You would have starved out here if not for all the free food we gave you.
Don't act like you had anything to do with that. That was all Tessa.
That's a cruel presumption, young man. Maybe it was Tessa's idea initially. But I supported it. And your mother was happy to live off our handouts.
I want to say both.
You tried to burn down our barn and knocked Tyler unconscious.
I never meant to hurt anybody. You weren't supposed to be home.
Doesn't excuse the fact that you didn't even stop to help.
What do you want me to say? I panicked. I was terrified that this whole thing was gonna blow up in my face. I had to do something.
Oh. Wait. What should we do?
You were here that night. You saw Marianne and Tyler. Why didn't you help?
I know it wasn't my best moment, but she threatened my life.
So you just decided to let her drown?
I didn't decide anything. Everything happened so fast, I panicked. And by the time I got to town, Brown was already on his way out. There was nothing else I could do.
So what do we do now?
We tell him he's gotta fix the mess he made, one way or another.
Hey, you hearing me?
Yep, sorry. I'm trying really hard to keep myself from punching him in the face.
Fair.
He's not even the least bit sorry for what he did. He could have seriously hurt you.
Yeah, he's just a fucking coward.
Facts.
Does he really expect us to believe there wasn't anything else he could have done that night?
I don't know, Allie. I'd rather not think about it.
Fair.
You failed us, Tom. You need to make it right.
I'll do whatever you want. As
goddamn
long as
right
none
you
of
will.
this gets out.
Excuse me?
You want me to pay for my mistakes? Fine. But please, Tessa can't know. This'd kill her.
Even more reason for me to
Tessa
tell her
already
that.
knows, Tom.
No. That's impossible.
It never occurred to you the reason Tessa cut Marianne off was you?
But she never said anything. Oh, Lord.
Does
You
she's a
should try
hypocritical
talking
cunt.
to your
Of course
wife.
she's not gonna say anything.
Maybe if you had, we wouldn't be in this situation. And maybe Marianne wouldn't be dead.
Oh, come on. You of all people should appreciate how troubled Marianne was. She was unhinged. Something like this would have happened sooner or later.
That was convenient for you, huh? You preyed on her because she was vulnerable. And you knew you could always blame it on crazy Marianne Ronan if you got caught.
It was nothing like that.
Bullshit.
Nothing at all. Your mother was a very pretty woman. And she'd been so many places and done so many things. The way I always thought I would have.
So you're living vicariously through her pussy? Like, what is wrong with you, you sick bastard?
I got caught up. Love made me a fool. Look, I made mistakes. But this will not go any further than the three of us.
Bullshit.
Why? We know. Tessa knows. Marianne's dead. There's no point in hiding it anymore.
And you don't need to be
He's
anywhere
afraid
near
it'll
public
tank
office.
his campaign. Am I wrong?
Jesus, Tom.
I've kept your secret all these years. I don't want to go spilling it. But I will if I have to.
What?
Yeah. Your little story about self-defense. I've never told anyone how Marianne really died.
Bro, I will
That
fuck
night,
you up.
I came out here because I was worried about your mother.
Why do they do it? They made me do it. They made me do it. Why did they do it? This is his fault. This is his fault.
Hunter.
Wait, no! Stop! Honey, wait, no, please, please.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I mean, she was still going after him with a shotgun, though. I probably would have stabbed her too, still. This doesn't strengthen your case anymore than it did, jackass.
No! No way! You're a fucking liar!
Knock him
I
out.
saw what I saw.
You're manipulating us just like you manipulated her!
Tyler!
You're not listening to this, are you?
Be smart about this, Alyson. Are you sure you want this to get out? You've got way more here to lose than he does. His name will be all but cleared, but you'll be a killer. What will your uncle say? And Michael? Well, the whole town might turn on you.
Fuck you.
Don't touch her.
You know I'm right.
Just get out of here, Tom. Tyler and I need to talk alone.
Just please, think twice before making any rash decisions. There are a whole lot of lives.
Maybe
at
you should
stake
have thunk twice before you stuck your dick in somebody
Leave
you
us
weren't
the
married
fuck
to.
alone. And never come back.
Maybe you should have thunk twice before you didn't use a fucking condom, you dipshit.
Allie, you okay? You didn't let that asshole get to you, did you? Did you?
What if he's right? I've been having all these nightmares about that night, and they were a lot like how Tom said. And now, when I try to remember, that's all I can see.
He's trying to mess with your head, and you're letting it work.
No, it's more than that. Ever since we started digging, I haven't been able to shake this feeling like something's off.
Something's off because he put this in your head. Don't let him get away with it.
He might not be lying. We keep getting things mixed up. We remember totally different versions of the past.
Those are just details. This isn't that. She was going to kill me.
I'm not so sure anymore, Tyler.
She had a gun pointed at me. She chased me. She said she was going to kill me.
She threatened Tom with those exact same words, with the same gun, on the same pier. The thing you said to Eddie the other day got thrown back at me. Don't you think it's possible that happened here too?
I guess it's possible. Fuck. I don't know. And we're never gonna know the truth, are we? Because the second you walk away from something, that's it.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, you just have to decide what you believe.
Me?
Yeah. You need to start dealing, Allie. And that means coming to terms with whatever version of the past feels the most true to you. No more running. Whatever you choose, you gotta live with it, okay?
We're gonna pick this up in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share this with your friends, hit the bell so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you guys next time.